Blessings, everyone. I just want to get on here real quick and share with you guys what the Lord had showed me in my time of intercession a few days ago. While I was praying, God was showing me that there were witches, there were warlocks, there were people fighting the children of God on a whole other level in the spirit realm, on like everything. But I seen that when God's children came together in prayer, we came together in intercession, we came together, especially praying on the third watch. That's like between 12 and 3 a.m. Where the witches and warlocks begin to do all their spells, incantations. As I began to pray, and I know that I think a lot of people must have been praying around that time as well, because the Lord began to show me altars being burnt up. God began to show me confusion in the enemy's camps. They were trying to figure out how and why wasn't it working. They were trying to figure out why so much was being stopped, why their spells, why their incantation wasn't working. But God is saying in this season that once we surrender and truly submit to prayer and fasting and doing what God has called us to do, we will see the manifestations of God. We will see our prayers begin to show up quickly. God is saying in this season that this is a time to where we need to look deeper and go deeper in Him. I'm talking to myself as well because He was talking to me too. We need to go deeper. There should be a healthy reverence of fear going on right now in our hearts from what we're seeing going on in the world in general. If we read the book of Revelations, not just listen to pastors only, but go and seek the word for yourself. The Bible says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So yes, we are to listen and to, come together, and, nothing wrong with our leaders and our pastors talking, giving us the word. However, God says, I need you to be the leaders of your home, over your children, especially men, over your family, to truly go in and seek my face even more diligent in this season. The enemy is being even craftier in this season. So we have to, I don't know, I feel so heavy in my spirit. Not take this lightly. We cannot take this as if it's just another thing. God is saying in this season, we have to truly commit to prayer, truly commit to fasting, truly commit to seeking Him more diligently, letting go sins that we struggle with, forgetting about it, ask God to remove it from us. Don't look back. God is saying don't go back. Some of you have repented but keep going back, but God is saying this is, I need you to stop going. So I say that to share, let this be a season. Even myself, I noticed that I had to cut off, like I stopped listening to R&B music. Even the clean music, we call it clean, right? Because there's no cursing words in it. God was like, still ain't clean. You trying to make something clean that's not. I cut off even like the old school oldies, and I normally listen to that type of stuff, but I completely cut it off. And I noticed that I was able to hear clearly. Even worship music, you have to watch some of the songs you're listening to, even in worship. It's not just secular music, but it's also worship music that we need to be paying attention to. Because some of this worship music, honestly, they don't always sing it. They don't actually preach the gospel of Jesus. They don't actually preach the good news of salvation. It's a lot of time it's preaching self and reflecting on ourselves. But God uses us as a light and the salt of the earth, so people be drawn to Him through us. How can people be drawn to Him through us when we're stuck in ourselves, in our own little bubble? We're allowing other things to cover us and shield our light. But God is saying in this season, I need you to be consistent in prayer, fasting. I need you to seek my face diligently. I need you to not go back to those sins that you were struggling with. I need you to ask me if you're struggling with something. If you need someone to hold you accountable, don't be afraid to ask a brother and a sister to help you out, because this is something that the enemy is using for us, the distractions, the struggling with finances, the struggling with things. But God is saying, if you listen to me in this season, you will see the transfer happen and the wealth transfer that's going to happen. You will see the things that were taking place to build my kingdom, to prepare. We know persecution is happening all over the world. People who are dying for Christ, who are hiding Bibles, who are struggling, and we're just going through a little persecution, just by disagreement. If we are able to handle that now, we are not going to be ready for before the return of Christ, when they're antichrist, or a man that stands up and raises up to do all kinds of wickedness and wants you to take the mark of the beast, and you're not going to be ready to say no because you can't be bold in something so small and futile. So God is saying, prepare, turn. If your right hand sins, cut it off. Whatever it is that you have to cut off to really get into God's face, cut it off. Music, movies, TV, whatever it is that's taking your time away from God, cut it off. So that's all I have to say. God bless you and shalom.